Hi, it's Tash. Welcome to Tash's Library. Today's video is my October TBR game. Super exciting. October is my birthday month, so I'm really hoping that I'll get some fun and entertaining reads on my TBR. Now, once again, I am participating in Buzzword-a-thon, and the Buzzword-a-thon title prompt is violent words, and the cover prompt is weapons on the cover. So I'm going to try and see if I can pick books that fulfill those prompts as well. So without further ado, let's go to the board. And this is the board. I move around anti-clockwise using my little Lego Eeyore. As I land on a spot, I pick a correspondingly colored card. Blue is what's in a name, which are title prompts. Purple, from cover to cover, are cover prompts. Red, it's a vibe, are genres and settings, etc. Yellow, all in the making, are publication details and authors. Green, it's so random, there's just another game to play like a pick-a-wheel. I throw 2 dice. If I throw a double, I add an extra roll. So let us begin. Roll number 1 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yellow, all in the making. And it's an author with initials. We had all in the making, and it's an author with initials. And for this one, I'm going to read Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. R.F. initials. And I am dying to get to this book. I really liked Babel, and so I'm sort of hoping that's another sort of dark academia type story. So it's basically following grad student Alice Law, who's only ever had one goal: to become the brightest mind in the field of analytic magic. But the only person who can make her dream come true is dead, and inconveniently in hell. And Alice, along with her biggest rival, is going after him. But hell is not as the philosophers claim. Its rules are upside down, and if she's going to get out of there alive, they will have to work together. That's if they can agree on anything. Will they triumph or kill each other trying? So yes, look, I'm really liking this idea. It seems to be sort of inspired by Dante's Inferno. So I don't know, I'm just super keen. I've heard mixed things about this book, but I am excited, and if it's as academic and dark as Babel, I'm gonna love it. Roll number 2 is a 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Red. It's a vibe. A book set on transport. It's a vibe, and it's a book set on transport. For this one, I'm going to read 6 Wakes by Muir Lafferty. Sorry, this is a very shiny book. But anyway, I did read Station Eternity, which I loved, and I have to actually continue that series because it was a 5-star read for me. I just loved it so much. And so I've been really wanting to get to this one as well because I've heard great things about this book. And I saw it at a bookshop when I was last in the city, and therefore I picked it up, and I cannot wait to get this on there. It does say 6 crew, 1 ship, 1 killer, so I'm assuming it takes place all on a ship, aka transport. So it's a lone ship, a murdered crew, and a clone who must find her own killer before they strike again. I'm super excited. It's sort of like a science fiction murder mystery. I love genre blends. I'm hoping that's what it is. But either way, I love Lafferty's writing. Roll number 3 is an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another It's a Vibe. A middle grade book. It's a vibe, and it's a middle grade book. So my TBR game is being super kind to me for my birthday month. And for this one, I'm going to continue a series, and it's on Yeka and the Rise of the Rebels by Tola Okogwu. I really enjoyed the first Onyeka book. So it's about this young girl who has crazy hair that she can't control, and then she finds out that it's actually magical and that there's a sort of magical academy in Nigeria that she can go train at. And it's just super cool, and I love the Nigerian setting, and I can't wait to see it happens next. Superheroes in Africa, like awesome, awesome, awesome. And I can't believe I waited this long to get to this book. Roll number 4 is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another yellow, all in the making. And it's a Goodreads winner or nominee. And it's all in the making, a Goodreads winner or nominee. For this one, I'm going to go to the fantasy winner for 2020 of the Goodreads Choice Awards. And it is The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nevo. Now, this is on my Kindle, so I will be reading it as an ebook. And it's the first book in the Singing Hills cycle. And I believe they're up to like 7 books, but they are short novellas. So it's not too bad. Silly to start a new series, but I've heard such good things about the series, and I'm always really, really intrigued to get to them. And so, look, it's October. I'm just going to have fun, and I'm going to read this. So basically, I don't know much about it, and I don't want to find out too much because it is a short book, but it's described as a feminist high fantasy that's critical of the monarchy. So that sounds kind of cool. I don't know what to expect, but I've heard good things. Roll number 5 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Green. It's so random. And that's a random letter to pick the author. It's so random, and it's a random letter for an author. Okay, so I went to throw a letter dice from my categories game, and this is what happened. All right, for the random letter author, I'm going to throw my categories dice, and I'm going to throw for surname. So hoping I don't get like a Q or an X. I mean, I could probably do X. I don't think I have any Qs. Let's see what I get. A. So surname starting with A. All right, A. So I'm going to go A as a surname, and I'm going to pick Isaac Asimov, The Naked Sun, which is the second book in the Robot series. I really enjoyed the first book. It was sort of like a 4-star, really solid, really like his writing, and it sort of had the science fiction mystery blend to it as well. So I'm kind of keen to get onto the series. Asimov is one of my priorities for this year, so I'm very, very keen to get to this. The first book in the series followed a detective who is assisted in an investigation by a robot. This is a highly humanoid robot that can pass as human, and it brings in all sorts of ideas about, does it matter if someone doesn't know that they're human? So I don't know. It's very interesting. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping there's a different mystery in this one. So yes, so it follows the same 2 characters. Looking forward to seeing what this one's about. Roll number 6 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Another yellow, and that's an ebook. All in the making, and this time it's an ebook. For this one, I'm going to pick a little murder mystery that seems quite cozy. I'm super keen to get to this one. It's called 3 Bags Full by Leonie Swan, and it's actually the first book in a sheep detective series. Now, this was originally written in German, and this one was translated by Anthea Bell, and it just sounds so darling. It follows Miss Maple, who's a sheep, and she leads other sheep on an investigation of the murder of their shepherd. And all this is set in Ireland. So it sounds charming. I cannot wait to get this one. It sounds really fun. And I do actually have this second book if I'm super keen. I may even continue it if I've got time. But anyway, this sounds amazing. Roll number 7 is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another red. And that's a young adult book. It's a vibe and it's a young adult book. I don't read a lot of young adult books, but luckily there is one that was on my radar that I really wanted to read, and that is Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger. This follows a Texas teen, Elatsoe, who comes face to face with a cousin's ghost and vows to unmask the murderer. So this is set in an alternate, contemporary America shaped by the ancestral magic and knowledge of its indigenous and immigrant groups. Sounds awesome. Combines mystery, horror, noir, ancestral knowledge, haunting illustrations, fantasy elements, and is one of the most talked about debuts in years. And look at that cover. It is so pretty. I think they're like little wolves. So yes, I think that's going to be an awesome YA book to read. And the final roll, if I don't jinx myself, is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another red. And that is a dark book. And gosh, my game has been kind to me. That's it. No doubles. Oh my gosh. But anyway, another It's a Vibe, and it's a dark book. And because it's October, I have to get this book on here. I have read it before, so it is a reread, but it's A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny. This is one of my all-time favorite books. It is just so unique and so wonderful. It is told from the perspective of Jack the Ripper's dog, and it follows all these different familiars who get together to plan some event that's going to happen on the 31st of October. And it's actually structured day to day in October. So each chapter is titled, for example, the 1st of October, the 2nd of October. So my plan this year is to read one chapter a day according to the date. I hope I can do that, because the tough thing about this book is going to be putting it down after one chapter. But it's just got these gorgeous illustrations as well throughout. And it's just such a quick read, but it's such a beautiful read. It is so unique. If you have not read this and you like unique kind of quirky books, give this a go. I highly recommend it. All right, with regard to Buzzword, a bit tricky, but I think I can choose Onyeka and the Rise of the Rebels for the violent word in the title, because rebels kind of imply violence. I don't know, let me know if you think that's a stretch, but I think it could work. However, what I don't have are any books that have weapons on the cover. Imagine that. I'm a fantasy reader, and I don't have any books with weapons on the cover. What have I done? Anyway, thankfully, there is a new release coming out on the 14th of October that I am super keen to read. It sounds really quirky and sweet. And that is Recipes for an Unexpected Afterlife by Destin J. Munden. So I'm going to get this on my Kindle. I have pre-ordered it already because I'm super keen. And as you can see, well, you may not be able to see, but within that big illustration, there are little weapons throughout. There's little axes, etc., spears. And so that covers it. Now, this book follows an undead orc knight who leaves battle behind and decides to open a restaurant. And then he's helped by elves, skeletons, and vampires in this necropolis. That sounds really cool, and I'm thinking it's going to be quite cozy, which I really like for my birthday month. So I think that'll finish it up nicely. Now, just like last month, I'm not going to do my spinner wheel for short stories. So I'm sort of giving myself a little break from that big book of science fiction, and am currently enjoying Ray Bradbury's short stories. So I'm reading this chunk of a thing, and I have got a little bit of the way through. It doesn't look like it on film, but yeah, I'm like 70 pages in. And so I'm just going to chip away at that when I do have additional time. If I finish my TBR, depending on how much time I have, I will read some of these for a few days, or I might pick up another book. I do not know, but I'm hoping to at least read a few of these short stories. I love Ray Bradbury's writing. Love it so much. And these volumes are amazing. I have volume 1 and 2. I happened to pick this up at a secondhand bookshop for a really good price. I was like, I've got to get this because they're quite pricey when you buy them new. So that's my plan. What are you planning to read in October? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching. And until I see you next time, take care.